Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.
Hi there, big thank you to you for staying with us here on Prime On, and it's time for us to get into News Flash. It's proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, phone papa here this morning. They've got CCTV cameras, refrigerators. We've got phones and accessories we're selling, and you can purchase accessories from us, and we're giving you 40% discount on any accessory that you buy from us. Don't forget that if you also need to purchase a television screen, we've got the biggest that you can get once you make your way to Franco Trading Enterprise. Our branches are everywhere nationwide. You can get into Google Play Store and download the app, Franco Trading app, and you're good to go. You can also visit our website. It's www.francotrading.com, and you can get all the info that you need there. Please call the numbers you see on your screens to do business with us. Do not pick any number on social media. Pick the numbers that you see on your screens, and you can talk to us at any time and buy from us. So Franco Trading Enterprise says still phones papa and we are very much aware that when it comes to quality and appliances, you can actually make your way to Franco Trading Enterprise because you're guaranteed that. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phones papa fee. This morning, we're getting into two major issues. Yesterday, we had the Council of States elections happened, and also we'll be looking at the 120-day social contract by His Excellency, the President of the nation, John Dramani Mahama. Now he's been able to put a task force. They have been inaugurated yesterday, and their mandate is very simple to ensure that the 120-day social contract with the people are actually fulfilled. And so they are the task force that will be ensuring that the chairman for the task force actually also spoke. We'll be taking a look at that as well here on the show. And then we'll try and see what the newspapers have reported. I've got a couple of them over here, so I'm going to go through them quickly, and then we'll move on to our major issue. Don't forget, you can join us here on the show, our Facebook page. We're streaming live, and so you can drop your messages there in real time. And our WhatsApp line is also active as well. You can also send your messages. What do you make of the task force that has been inaugurated to ensure that the promises made by the president is fulfilled? And also, the elections yesterday, Kumasi was marred by chaos, and a few other places that are yet to be executed in terms of the elections. And also, we'll be looking at those who have been able to go through it, and would let you know the Western region were able to do so. In Volta region, we have a representation, and then in the Upper East, we have a representation as well. So we're going to take a look at that also here on the show. But let me introduce my guests here with me this morning. Awal Mohammed is here, and he's a communication team member for the NPP. Awal, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine, thank you. How are you too?
I'm good. You slept well?
Yeah, I slept well.
Okay. Good. That makes a lot of sense. And so I'm grateful for your time this morning. Benjamin Kofi Kwashi is here with us as chairman of the Council of Elders, NDC South Africa, and also chairman for Ally Consortium. Good to see you, my brother.
Yes, good to see you.
How's it going?
We thank God.
Everything cool?
Very well.
Have they given our position already before we start going to Jubilee House?
We are working.
If they don't hurry up, we'll start.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was telling another person yesterday.
Yeah.
Honorable Atabode yesterday.
Okay.
You people have done a lot of work. I mean, we come here every day, and throughout the year, you constantly, on platforms and all of that. And I think that it's deserving that,
Especially him.
Yeah.
Because as a former MP, he is one of the few former MPs. There are like three that are at the forefront of the
massively on
the
platforms
for the last
that.
8 years. He, the former MP for Boem, and one other person. There are only three who are very active. I meet them almost every
all the
week
time
for
right?
the last 8 years.
We know those who have done
They deserve some.
Yeah. We know those who have done the job. And I think
funny, we are still working. The fact that there's no position doesn't mean that we are not working.
Yeah, that's the reason he was here yesterday.
Exactly, and you're here today as well, But we are saying that where we are sitting, they have to make sure that from where we sit, they have to make sure that they put you people over there, because a lot of the youth are also listening to you and they're looking up to you, and when you are in positions like that, they'll be able to approach you and let you know what they also want to do to contribute to the country. So but quickly, the Ghanaian Times is here this morning. On the front page, it says that regions elect reps to Council of State as some centers record chaotic scenes, and President inaugurates task force to realize 120-day promise. Ghana's corruption perception index drops from 43 to 42 in 2024. That's the Ghanaian Times today. Away from that, the Ghanaian publisher says ICOMS makes trade facilitation seamless. GRA says so. Uniformed men invade Ken's house as persecution of Akufo-Addo's men begin. BCM accuses a businesswoman of property seizure, and health minister to brief MPs on cholera outbreaks. That's also captured on the front page of the Ghanaian publisher. Mahama terminates appointments after December 7. And the Accra Times says that African speakers taking to task to address transitional challenges and grabbing of state properties. Looters will be punished, Mahama vows, after receiving oral report. And La MP calls for more girls in STEM and illegal lottery operations. Who calls for stricter measures, proposes amendment to NLA Act 2006 at 722. And the Senator bemoans cybercrime in Ghana. And daughter of Medra, who said chief supporters want to know. And that's the Accra Times this morning. Away from that, the Daily Democrat says fear grips NPP PRs at ministries and SOEs over discrimination. And Oral on track to retrieve billions. BCM Ghana raises concerns over property dispute involving Angela List. And that's on the front page of Daily Democrat. Away from that, Mrs. Evelyn Krang Aminu wins Eastern Region Council of State election. Ivan Chade bags Master of Public Health, and MPP man at TMPC creating problems. Industry players want him. All right, so those are the stories on the front page of the daily newspapers this morning here, and that will be all. But we're going to start off with maybe this is okay. They're all too fresh, so let's begin with the elections, if that is fine. Unfortunately, Kumasi had issues. Now, Gabriel Tanko won for Volta region with 24 votes. 32-year-old businessman Dr. Maxwell Boakye also won in Western region, and then a draw up. Also, Damati also won for Greater Accra. Upper East House of Chiefs President, his name is a bit difficult, but I'll try. Pierre Diale Ditondini Ayagitam, the third, actually won. But what would do me the better version of that name?
No, I can't.
You can't. I thought you could. But that's the one who won for Upper East as well. But unfortunately, there were some chaotic scenes in Kumasi, and it wasn't looking good. I'll start off with you.
But before you get there, I saw one of the front pages.
Yeah.
Publisher. I think the chief of staff is setting a bad precedence when you check governance. And the tenure of any government doesn't end on 7th December. It ends on 7th January, midnight of 6th January. That is when it ends. Again, appointment within public service do not start within a month. They have to go for technical clearance from Public Services Commission. They have to go for financial clearance from Ministry of Finance. All those who were appointed within December, the process didn't start in December. The man is setting a bad precedence. That will not help. Again, if we are not careful, we'll get a lot of judgment debts in this country. You remember in 2009, when they came, they removed Dr. Nsiansari from Konfanochi Teaching Hospital. 3 years after that, he went to court and got a colossal amount of money in judgment debts and so on. So I think they should tread with caution. People who are Ghanaians, you came on the banner that there is 14% unemployment rate in this country. You have come and you are telling us that Ghanaians who went through public services interviews did everything, but their letters came in December after 7th. Their appointments should be terminated. I think it's a wrong move. And I will want to see a lot of lawsuits.
We didn't see the same in 2016?
No. Because I know
it didn't happen this way.
No, because
I've got. If you watch this, there's a press release that was put out by the NSS.
Yes,
and it has to do with the same issue.
That is the only thing
that
they
we're
went
going
to
through
court
right now.
They went to court and lost because the process were not followed. In Senate, I know over 400 people who got their appointment after 7th December in Senate and in
within the space of time you're talking about.
Within the space of time after NDC lost elections. And as Thompson recruited over 400 people in Senate. Cocoa Board, Opuni recruited over 200 people. They were never sacked. Those at NSS, they went to court and lost the case. So that is the different scenario altogether. So I think the best thing is for you to check. There are people maybe who did not pass through the rigorous process of technical clearance, financial
Is that not the reason why
clearance.
the chief of staff said that they should send reports? And maybe based on the report that
You don't terminate.
you'll be able to know that this
hoping,
person was within this period. That person was.
Yeah,
within
I was
that
hoping.
period.
I was hoping to hear that do an audit of all those who were recruited. You understand? But when you write a letter to terminate, so after the audit, will you reinstate the person? Will you reinstate the person? Will the person take the February salary? Or the person has already taken January, February salary. Some had already taken January salaries. And you're saying that that appointment should be terminated. It's not a coup d'etat.
Anyway,
I think
you
coming from a while, it's very rich that he says that this is wrong. When they were doing it, I'm sure that he was so proud, and I'm sure that he would have said that this is governance and things should have to be done in the right way. I think that the chief of staff that we have currently has followed procedure in everything that he does. Unlike theirs when they took over. The Honorable Asafo Mafo, what didn't he say? Awal is telling me he didn't hear him. When we were complaining at that time, he said no, it was done in bad faith. Today, the chief of staff is also saying that these recruitments were done in bad faith. You said it's wrong. And you are saying that we are setting a bad precedent because this is not a coup d'etat. Did you come to power through a coup d'etat? No. You were also elected by the good people of Ghana.
Yeah.
And you see, I have stated on your show before that we need to look at our Transition Act again because there are a lot of loopholes in it. I can tell you that. We will not put it out yet. The chief of staff has asked for a report. You will be surprised what is in those reports because he knows it. The recruitments were done in bad faith. They have taken MPP and their supporters into key institutions that we feel that it wouldn't help us in our agenda to develop this country. And I think that, look, until that report is here, and just like I said to you about the gold for oil deal, there was an MPP MP here who said that there was nothing wrong with it. But you've seen what is coming out of it. Because during the transition, we saw it. We sat down as a team from JMC. I was part of the transition committee. So I understand what has gone into what the chief of staff has put out there. And I can assure you, well, the reports will come. If the reports come and those people got their jobs by merit and not putting party foot soldiers in certain key institutions, then I think that you don't blame the chief of staff. You can't. The right thing must be.
Because right from the onset, those information started coming out.
Yes.
And people were arguing that should it be the case? And you see, because it's been done before, and we've seen this happen before.
Yes.
It's better when you want to wait and then see the report, and then based on the report,
That's
you'll be
why
able to
I
say
was
that,
waiting.
oh, okay.
I was hoping that the report will come first before
The termination
letter. Because you see, one of the members of ORA was appointed on the 20th of December. Domelevo, he was appointed on the 20th of December from outside, and he became Auditor General. No one touched him. Again, Whittal. That's
Which Domelevo is it?
Domelevo that you're talking.
You're speaking about 20th December.
December 2016.
16.
He was appointed 20th December 2016 and continued as Auditor General until he went for retirement.
No, you pushed him.
That also came with another issue.
It is as a result of his birth certificate.
It was a retirement.
It was as a result of his birth certificate. One of the birth certificates. One of the birth certificates says he was 62. One said he was 60.
When you have somebody who has three different passports that you are praising, you are talking about.
Who is praising who?
Oh, you
Have you ever heard me praising anyone?
You know, let's be realistic.
No, have you ever heard me praising anyone that the person has a double identity?
Someone that Okudzeto Ablakwa has been going after, that pastor, their pastor.
The Reverend.
But Siraj cleared him.
Who had also the same issue with the passport.
Siraj cleared him. You saw it was on the front page.
You know why they cleared him? We have a chief clearing agent who was at the Jubilee House, clearing everybody left, right.
Kwital is one of the appointees who was appointed by President Mahama on the 20th of December after he lost elections. The same person cleared him.
Well,
so maybe the
NPP can cry all they want, but we have stated that we have a country to run, and we are not running the country based on their tenets. No, the law is there. The chief of staff didn't wake up and just said that this should happen.
There's no law.
A lot of consultation.
He said, if you check the letter, he didn't say any law. He said corporate governance.
Let him
that was all
a lot of the mess that they created, we are solving. So when we are solving the mess you've created, you don't tell us how to do it. The good people of Ghana realized that we were better and capable of resolving their issues. That is why they gave us the overwhelming endorsement. So I can, share in his sentiment. But what I'm saying is that we are governing a country and we are not doing it on the tenets of the NPP administration.
Very well. So one of the key things that we'll be looking at, and this forms a part of governance, and it's actually very important because these are the people who are representing the various regions and ensuring that the president actually gets to listen to them and we're on very key issues. And so this is of very importance to us. But unfortunately, yesterday, we had issues with Kumasi. We're not able to continue with that. Let me take your thoughts on what happened in Kumasi yesterday. And in general, maybe what you feel about
I think that
the Council of State.
It's very unfortunate what happened in Kumasi. Other regions went on very seamlessly.
Yeah.
And I think that what is happening now across all the sectors of the economy and the country as a whole is a testament to what President Mahama has always preached about, getting young people's involvement in governance. For the first time, there's a young person
32-year-old
who is 32 years. I've heard arguments by people saying that what experience does it bring on board? And I think that we are in a world now that experience and wisdom is not only with the elderly people, and I'm sure that there's a blend. Young people have won. I'm sure that you heard also that in the Volta region there's another young
very
person.
young, 36, I think.
Yeah, who has also won. Tanko won that election, and I think that it's a pat in the back for us as a democratic country. I have also heard arguments about people who have said that what is the role of the Council of State? What actually do they do?
Kudzeto has had to defend it. Some people think
we should get to see them, because look, in times past, a lot of things happened in this country when we were calling on the Council of State to intervene, sort of when we were in opposition, but they never did anything. And so that is something that created that mindset among Ghanaians as to whether the Council of State is there to do any meaningful thing. I want to say that we should be able to blend the young people and the elderly ones that are on the Council of State, those that have been elected. I'm sure that you are aware that others will also be appointed by the president in the coming days. Let us see how President Mahama transform this whole Council of State thing. And I'm sure that he has a plan as to what he wants to do. Going forward, I think that this is also part of the governance structure that I've said that we need to look at the Constitutional Review Committee and see what we can do to ensure that this whole idea about the Council of State does not only become an institution that is there, but an institution that helps in the governance of the country. I want to congratulate all of them, those who won. It's rather unfortunate what happened in Ashanti. I'm sure that we've grown as a country through this. We don't need to do these things when we are going for elections. Elections are supposed to be very peaceful. I'm sure the security services will find out who did those things and then bring them to book. There is no place in the NDC for such behavior, and I'm sure that coming days we'll get what the police will tell us, and then we'll move on from there.
Okay. Well.
Well, I think I will have to congratulate those who have won, except the one in Kumasi. So now 15 out of 16. And again, when you check the Council of State, I am really surprised that he will want to narrow it down to just 8 years ago to say that the Council of State, the debate around the Council of State, whether it's relevant or not. It has started since. even Rawlings' time, people still talk about the Council of State. But I'm surprised he's talking about these recent. It is only recently that you hear sitting elected NDC executives contesting for Council of State elections. How? Sitting executives. When you go to the Upper West person, he's the first vice chairman for the NDC in the region. This is the first time you're hearing sitting executives, regional executives contesting.
But why? Is there
no, I'm saying that there is nothing wrong with that. But when you check the concept of the Council of State, it's one of the fantastic institutions that you will ever have. Looking at our culture, where we come from, where you have elders trying to counsel whoever it is. When you check the almost all the palaces, you have elders and
the composition is very diverse.
Exactly. If you check former Chief Justice, former IGP, former CDS, and
former foreign affairs ministers are all in there.
No, they are not. I'm talking about the composition.
The composition, okay.
Yeah, the composition. So former Chief Justice, former CDS, former IGP, and the chairman of the council, the House of Chiefs. These are the 4 people who have automatic entry. Then there will be 11 appointed by the president. Then you will have the 16. So when you check, 2/3 are supposed to be non-partisan people. 2/3. So that is the reason when you check even their elections, it is done. The Electoral College are people who were elected non-partisan. That's assembly members. So every district has 2 people. Usually it's the presiding member and 1 other assembly member. They will come and elect the people. What happened in Kumasi is unfortunate. And I think the Council of State, as we all know, and as the law stipulates, is supposed to be a kind of advisory body to the president. And anyone at all, any Ghanaian at all, who believes that he has the capabilities to contest will contest. What happened in Kumasi has to do with politics. It was a street fight between Nana Nkansa Boadu, who is an elder of the NPP. He's the chief of Agric in Zima. He's an elder. He decided to run for the elections. Before that, there were a lot of bickerings on radio station in Kumasi and so on. He against a former regional chairman, Yao Bimpe. So it became a street fight, even though there were about 13 people contesting. But it was a street fight between Nana Nkansa Boadu and Obimpe. On the grounds, even your reporter, Nanaboche Adomo, was there, and he said that when outside you saw Yao Bimpe's supporters shouting that he has won, until inside when they were doing the sorting, they saw that Nana Nkansa Boadu had got more votes than Obimpe. Then they came in and disrupted the process. You see, in Ashanti region, if an NPP person decides to contest anything, any elections like this, if you rerun it 10 times, Nana Nkansa Boadu will win. I'm telling you this. You see, in 2014, when Kojo Bonsu was appointed as the KMA boss, KMA dragged for 2 years without a presiding member. If you want to win any elections in Ashanti region and you are an NDC person, I think dialogue is the best way, not violence. Because within that period, for 2 years, KMA didn't have presiding member because MPP presented Nana Kofi Senya, who was the assemblyman for Swami. Then NDC presented Nana Edumhene, who was a government appointee from Asia. But because of his political alienation, he was appointed as government appointee. It was presented. For 2 years, they were having elections and they couldn't get, there was a tie. Until later, Opoman, who is just a communication officer for Ishaye constituency for the NPP, became the presiding member. What happened yesterday? Even after that, you heard people saying that, how can an NPP person come and advise the president? We had E.T. Mensah for Greater Accra. He won the last elections. E.T. Mensah was a foundation member of the NDC. The late E.T. Mensah. He was a foundation member of the NDC. He ran the elections against the will of his own people. His own people said, why will you run for these elections and so on because you are a known NDC person and this is an MPP governance? He said he will still go. He ran and won the elections squarely here in Accra and represented the greater Accra region. So what is wrong with Nana Nkasa-Boadu contesting the elections? Trust me, there's no way Nana Nkasa-Boadu will not represent Ashanti region. If they like, they can rerun it 10 times. He will still represent Ashanti region. The assembly members, probably, I can tell you that even where your Wimpe comes from, Ejuso, he will not even get the 2 there. I'm telling you this. Why he can get maybe Asawasi, where you may have some few NDC assembly members. Almost all the assembly members, it's not about the money you give them. It's not about anything you give them. They will still vote. If you go and you want to show that you can use tax to win the elections, there's no way it will happen like that. It will never happen.
I think I've listened to Awal, giving conflicting statements himself. I don't know whether, when he started, he said it is wrong that political people should.
I didn't say that.
Compete.
I didn't say that. I didn't say it's wrong. You even asked me whether it's wrong. I said that this is the first time people who are... let me just correct him.
No,
but you don't misconstrue my words whilst I sit here. I don't want you to finish. I will want to set the rest of it. You see, but why do you misconstrue my words when I sit here? You even asked me whether it is wrong. I said there's nothing wrong with that. And you're saying that I contradicted myself.
Let him learn. Maybe when he's done,
we'll have the discussion, whether they like it or we know them.
Let him learn.
We were in this country. Maybe Awal was asleep. He just woke up when card-bearing MPP member was appointed as an EC official. At that time, he didn't know that anything was wrong with that. When this country, when a parliamentary candidate on the ticket of the MPP was put at one of our appellate courses, he didn't make any comment about that. You see what they do, and they are good at that.
What?
You don't pick and choose and believe that that is how the country should go. Wontumi made statement like he's making. Nothing. NDC cannot do anything in that. I believe that even he thought that the NDC would not win the election that we went into. He was jumping from station to station, believing that they have done something good. They claim the Ashanti region is their stronghold. You sit here, you tell us that there's no way an NDC person can win an election in the Ashanti region. It's Asawase en masse. It's Asawase not in the Ashanti region. Did we only win that state, that seat? You had a seat even in the Volta region. We never said to you people that, look, the Volta region, you cannot have any inroads in it. You got it. And we said, we made mistakes. We've gotten our seat back. What I'm trying to say is that if we want to apply the law in everything that we do, let's not pick and choose. Because at the end of the day, what happened in Ashanti region, we all should condemn it. Once we condemn it, we tell everybody that, look, elections are not about tax coming in here and there. Today they are talking about tax, that the NDC is winning election with tax. What didn't you do to the Honorable Sam George in the Ayawaso fracas that we had? He talks about E.T. Mensah, the Honorable E.T. Mensah, winning as an NDC person. Maybe Awal doesn't know that the Honorable E.T. Mensah, the late E.T. Mensah, a founding member of the NDC. Yes, we agree. We've never said he's not a founding member. But there were issues that he had with the party. And just like him, also going out there, I can't call Awal an NDC person. He's not an NDC person because he betrayed the constitution of the NDC party. So if E.T. Mensah goes and stands on their ticket and he has won an election and you are using that as a yardstick to say that even an NDC person, in this election in Greater Accra, wasn't there Afotiagbo? Didn't he lose the election? He lost. So we should move from the complaints and govern the country together, not always picking and choosing where we feel that it suits us. Yes, it's okay. Where it doesn't suit us, then we say no, everybody should jump. I think that we should move on from that. We have a country to govern, and the necessary things that have to be done are things that we are doing so that the governance structure will proceed.
Okay. I think that there's supposed to be some investigations on that issue.
Yes.
Hopefully when the findings come out, we'll be able to know who exactly and how this whole thing started. But I think that, like everybody is saying, we've gone past that, stage where we are right now. I don't think that is where we're supposed to be. But you also saw the videos. You saw the scuffle that happened, the chaos and all that. You can share your thought with us. Let us know what you think. And you can see on your screen right now, what do you make of that? You can share your thought with us with the issue of Kumasi chaos when we had the elections yesterday. Well, quickly, and then we'll move on to the next issue. Maybe we'll be looking at...
I don't think there is any card-bearing member appointed as EC boss in this country. That is one. Two is that the only people I know who were former MPs, who are now justices, who are now judges, former MPs, are former NDC MPs. Justice Moslawe Boche, former NDC MP for Adan between 1993 and 2004. He is an appeal court judge today. Justice Francis G. Kwambi, an NDC MP for Jirapa 1993 to 2000. He's also a judge today as I speak, who was appointed by the NDC. Justice George Boadu, NDC MP for Amenfi Central for 1993 to 2000. When you check the injunction that was put to Hohoi, the last, when Amewu won, that was a judge. One of the judges was a former NDC MP. So I'm at a loss that he's telling us that a former NDC MP, no, there might be someone who had ever contested for the MPP and maybe has been appointed as a judge, and there's nothing wrong with that because Justice Atuguba ever contested in 1996, but later he was appointed. He was even appointed without becoming a judge straight to Supreme Court. So there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with
but we've seen instances of this happening. I mean, you see that even the NDC supporters have had a cause to actually attack the president in courts.
Yes.
For putting certain people they believe that they are MPP.
They believe. You understand? Not necessarily they are able to substantiate.
It's not something that is new.
You see, it's not really about allegations. It's about giving us the concrete evidence to show that this person is really a card-bearing member. And if he's a card-bearing member, is it wrong? Has he breached the law? That's why I said that. These are judges that you never hear MPP going around saying that these are judges who are MDC judges and so on, because we know that they are technical people who are supposed to work. Justice Pama was the general secretary for CPP, PNC, sorry. He was appointed by former President Mahama to the Supreme Court. The person, former President Mahama, President Mahama, the person he appointed to do the sole commissioner, he did not really give any results to the people of this country, rather than vilify some people to say that some people did some shady jobs by selling drillship and so on. Just after that, he was rewarded with a Supreme Court appointment. He was an operative of the PNDC and so on. But nobody had any issues with that because we felt that it's a law that the person is going to administer. And that's the most important thing. Not necessarily the person being an NDC person also.
Anyway, we're going to take some of the messages and then we'll move on to the issue of the task force that have been inaugurated to ensure that the promise by the president in terms of his social contracts with the people of Ghana are actually fulfilled. So let's take some of the messages that have been sent to us and then we'll continue from there. Let me see this one over here. It says that, good morning to you. One of the key strategic measures that is current political administration should focus on is promoting domestic revenue generation. This can be done by implementing effective tax policies, cracking down on tax evasion, and promoting small and medium enterprises to boost economic growth and create jobs. By creating domestic revenue, Ghana can reduce its reliance on foreign loans and aid. That's Aaron Babaku Komisa, who sent that from Accra. And so, yeah, I think it's one of the things that the government right now is taking a look at. So it would help. Self-reliance is always the way to go. This one says, the government is seriously ruling the propaganda first. They created the Japa a Japadia document and Ghanaians bought into it. They should, the second is the oral to paint former appointees black. They lied to Ghanaians that there was a looming power crisis and later turned around to inform the nation it's been averted. The biggest one is the current termination of appointments. They will soon tell us due process had been done and those affected have been properly placed just to avoid payment of judgment debts. Ghanaians should wake up. Ike in Kuforidia sent that. Let me go to this one. It says, good morning, host. NPP has moral rights to complain about the revocation of the illegal recruitment since they are more guilty. Why do they do mass recruitment at the time Ghana is under IMF? They are more banned on recruitment. Indeed, the NPP engage in proceed on leave against people perceived as NDC members under Kufuor when people were thrown out of offices and bungalows. Again, Rawlings was denied his privileges and was not allowed to receive an award by UDS. Chikata and others were jailed by Kufuor, leading to the death of Victor Solomon in prison. In 2001, hundreds of soccer fans were attacked and killed by NPP youths with impunity at the stadium. Okay, let me go to the next one. Good morning, Mr. Host. Are we serious in this country? How can the chief himself clearing people whose case are in court and some are given positions? Dr. Johnson Esiama, Dr. Atuforsen, Dr. Ernest Thompson, Alhaji Collins Dowda, Stephen Opuni, Seidu Agongo, Richard Daka, and so on. They should continue the court case, and we are expecting the labor union should make sure that salaries should hit between 60% and 70% because the economy is good now, and chief of staff should be God-fearing not to terminate any recruitment appointment. We, the youth, are our eye red. Good, that's from Good Boy. As for this youth that we have right now, they say they are eye red. This one says, good morning, Joy Prime. NDC is a scam to Ghanaians. How can a political party who promised 24/7 economy revoke appointment of the youth when they promise jobs in opposition? The most funny thing is why not integrate those recruitment into their 24/7 economy? One job, 3 people, from Mohammed Ibrahim Yendi. Let me move on to the next one. It says, greetings, KMJ and your panel. We told Ghanaians that John Mahama, we know, is still the same. He promised Ghanaians that he was going to give them jobs. Now that they have voted for you, you are sacking them because they were appointed in December. Why? Just look at what his foot soldiers are doing, always creating chaos all over the country, and he's very silent on it because he has asked them to do it. Ghanaians should know that John Mahama has nothing new to offer Ghanaians. We are all watching. Nana in Gunasweju sent in that as well. This one says, good morning, Mr. Host. Take a look at Mr. Domlevo's appointment letter, which was issued to him as the Auditor General of the Republic of Ghana after Mr. had lost the elections, hopefully in 2016. The Chief of Staff is setting a very bad precedent, which will definitely come back to haunt them. Amino in Sawem sent that in, and okay. And the date on there is...
it's 20th December.
No, I think this is 10th December 2016 or 19.
No, I know this for a fact that it was just after.
Okay, let me see if we have got any more messages to do. This one said, good morning, KMJ, Mr. This is Awudu Idrisu Adieji. In fact, Ghanaians were totally disappointed to the NDC leadership of John Mahama, especially to the extent that a whole Ashanti regional minister voicing out that he doesn't want Nana and Kansa, but Wodu. And again, a regional minister carries NDC tax to disrupt an election that is clearly runs. Now, thanks to Awal for the perfect comment on the election. Greetings to Honorable Mohammed Haruna, immediate past East MCE. This one over here says, good morning, KMJ, and good morning to Honorable Awal Mohammed. I think what is happening in Ghana is a clear indication of a lawless country. And is that the way to go? Starting from the president appointment chaos, vetting of the ministers, and even election of council of elders. So it's unfortunate. We are very worried of the recent happenings, major in Northeast. But why would you want to blame the president if vetting committee decided that they want to find? He wasn't there. KMJ, please let Awal understand that your morning show is a serious business, so you should stop laughing wherever the NDC man is speaking. From what inside as a chair in a lambele. Awal, that's for you. These NDC people are indeed having a short memory, as it was being said by John Dramani Mahama. If not now, if not, how can one argue that it's only the NPP government that have appointed into the EC? Which party did Dr. Kojo Afari Jan belong to? Aziz Bayo from WA. Are you saying Afari Jan was NDC? Wow. Osebo says that, good morning, KMJ, but I think it was one of the best you have ever seen in terms of what he's been able to do so far. Even if you want to place him as an NDC member, I mean, we also his track records.
No, just after he retired. That's why people started saying that.
What happened just after he retired?
No, I'm saying that because we all, NDC claims his MPP, MPP claims his NDC, and you could tell that indeed he was in the middle.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of no doubts about that. Good morning, KMJ. I think Mohammed's first error is this continuation of the court cases of his previous appointees. So you see, it's given him a name by the opposition. This is how it starts. On the issue of oral, I believe politicians should stop hiding behind laws to do injustice to the state. If it's not good yesterday, it's not good today. Look at what happened yesterday at Kumasi. NDC, MPP, the same. My hope is that the NDC does better this time. The optics is as significant as the substance, yes. And I think it's one thing that we should all be looking at. Moving forward, some of these things, we all have to condemn them in all certain terms. It's not the way to go. The way MPP communicates never learned from the way of communication from their woefully defeat allowed JDM to reset the country in peace. Good morning, KM Junior panelists. Good morning to Letitia Ayom Bill inside Tema. Okay, Alasan, I think I've read that one already. Let me go to this one over here. It says, good morning, host. NPP has moral rights to complain about the revocation of illegal. I think I've done this one too. Yeah. Let me go to this one. Good morning to you, especially Mr. Awao. Tell the NDC man that he should remember that they are not going to be in power forever. I think the NDC is very much aware of that. I mean, you do not even need to remind them.
No.
Yeah, from what we have seen so far, even when the NPP comes back, they will also be very careful what they do. So that I'm sure they are very much aware. Okay. This one says, good morning to you. NPP members should... No, I'm not going to read that, please. You can say your messages, but don't attach any insult to it, please. I beg you. Okay. Very much so. Let's get into it. And once again, let's try and be civil when we send some of our messages. Just make your point clear and do not disrespect anybody. These are gentlemen that have distinguished themselves very well. But for these platforms, I'm not sure you'll be able to say some of the things that you say to them or you write to them. So whether NDC, MPP, whatever it is, let's just be civil about what we want to say, and then we'll move on from there. Make your points clear without any insult or disrespect to any of our panelists here in the studio. I beg of you. Thank you very much. Now let's move on to yesterday's. So one of the things that a lot of people are looking forward to is the fulfillment of most of the promises, if not all of them, that the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has made. Now, the good thing is that we have a task force that will ensure that these things are tactfully looked at in ensuring that they are achieved as well. Is the task force able to make people do what the president wants them to do? Or the people themselves would have to realize that the president has put in their hands a certain responsibility and they have to stick to that. We've seen some of them go to the offices with cameras, updates, and all of that. Now there's a task force. Is that enough?
I think that the NDC won the elections, and the back of it was some of the social contracts that we had with the good people of Ghana. The task force that the president is putting in place is to ensure that all his promises in the manifesto that he gave are adhered to, and the good people of Ghana should see the change that they want in their lives after voting for the NDC. The 120-day social contract that the president has always said that he will have with Ghanaians is in full place. You've seen the committee for the constitutional review have been established. You see that the education and economic dialogues have also been put in place.
And so also happened, and it was a very beautiful.
Exactly. So what he did yesterday was to get ministers and experienced experts across board, from the ministries and all of that to come together, and let's see how best we can be able to achieve what we promised in the manifesto of the NDC. I think that Ghanaians over the years have been so much disappointed by politicians. So when you come as a political party, you put out there that I want to do A, B, C, D, they vote for you, you come into power, you don't mind them again. The president has always stated that we have a different kind of citizenry in this country now. Our citizens in this country will not just listen to you as a politician, they hold politicians accountable. So in holding us accountable, we also need to ensure that we deliver according to the promises that we gave the good people of Ghana. The success and the credibility of this administration depends on us being able to fulfill, if not all, most of the things that we said in our manifesto to get to where we are. So I think that we should all pat the president in the back. What he is doing is making sure that when we take off, there shouldn't be any left backs. Everything that we promise, how do we do it? How do we achieve it? Look, the president has spoken so passionately about leaving a legacy. It's not about himself. He says, no, it's not about me now. It's about me ensuring that my second and final coming, the promises I gave to the Ghanaian people should be adhered to, should be fulfilled. And you can just see from the appointment the president has made so far. I've not seen anybody complain about the competency of them. I've not seen anybody complain about the competency of people that he has appointed into certain bodies. We were in this country. I know that the MPP, as he giggles, will say, oh, this person is this person. We'll not do the personal confrontation. What I can say is that the 120-day social contract is in motion. And key to it is the committees that the president has formed. And I can assure you that when they start presenting their reports, when everything that we have stated in the manifesto that brought us to power is fulfilled, the good people of Ghana will pat us in the back and say that we have indeed achieved that social contract that we had with them. And remember, the social contract was not only bought by the electorate, it was overwhelmingly bought. So we have the goodwill of the people, and we don't want to take that for granted. The NDC knows. I have stated the time without number that if we fail the people, then the good people of Ghana would treat us the same way they treated the MPP. And I don't think that when, as NDC, we sit and talk, we will want to go through that experience. We don't want to go through it. So what we have to do to ensure that the good people of Ghana continue to repose their trust in us is what we are doing as a government.
Okay. I'll come back to you and then we'll look at the other side of it. Yeah. In terms of some of the committees and then all those that have been set up.
You said something also about people getting into the offices and taking pictures and videos.
And then I was asking if that is not even enough to prove
I think that the president's attention has been drawn to those.
Oh, is it?
Yes, I think that his attention has been drawn to those. And I think that as a country, we should be so much concerned about achieving results than showing these things that have come to the office and then videos and pictures have been taken. I think that the president, knowing that is why he has formed such task force to put us all under check. And I think that we should grow from it as a people. We've been put there to work and to ensure that we provide that better Ghana for our people. We've not been put there to take videos and posts. We've not been
because I'm asking that in the next 6 months, are we still going to be seeing those updates coming?
Exactly.
So if they don't come, then what happens? People will now have to be asking for them.
I think the president and everybody around him might have seen that it's becoming one too many. And I've stated that the NDC administration that we have now is not going to be a normal one. We won't come and sit here and say that, no, what they are doing is right. If it is wrong, it's wrong. And I think that governance is a serious business. We should move from the theatrics and all other things and focus on helping the president deliver that better Ghana agenda.
Great. Wow.
Well,
are you fancied by the
I don't really see the relevance of the task force.
It's not important.
Yes, looking at what he promised vis-a-vis the institutions responsible for the things that he promised. For instance, the economic dialogue, the education dialogue and so on. These are within his domain to really set up these committees and so on. But the rest of the things that they said, the 26 different things, which some are just like a lean and efficient government, trying to also set up his government within 14 days and so on. These are things that he has said, but real deliverables that Ghanaians will benefit from. I don't think you need a task force to be able to really police them to do this, because you have the chief of staff, you have the institutions, you have almost everyone to be able to keep them on track to be able to do this. But he feels that a task force should be enough for him to be able to do it. What is important to Ghanaians is the deliverables, not the task force. Whether the task force will go and deliver, what Ghanaians are waiting to see is that in the next 120 days, we want to see the free sanitary pad that he promised from primary school to senior high school. This is part of the things that he said. Ghanaians will want to see the repeal of the COVID-19 e-levy and betting taxes. Ghanaians will want to see that. So you don't need any task force. You only need the finance minister, who is a member of the task force, to be able to arrange and go and do his part of the bargain, because he has a role to play. The education minister will have to also have a role to play in the sanitary pad, because it's from primary to senior high school that they will give free sanitary pad for the girls in the schools. And again, no academic fee user will also be within the domain of the education minister. Then free tertiary for persons living with disabilities. That is also things that we hope to see within the next 120 days. Women Development Bank. He said the seed capital will come from this, so I'm sure maybe the first budget, it will still capture. Then the 1 million coders program, the one Dr. Bawumia promised that, and they said, well, the e-jobs are not very necessary. People need only kinky, especially those in Accra and so on. But they put it in their manifesto that they will do. Then the ban on illegal mining. I was surprised when I read that. I said ban on illegal mining. When the thing is illegal, how do you ban something that is illegal already? Honestly, the destruction of our forest reserve and even the forest is becoming too many, to the extent that for the first time, an MP has been ostracized from his own community. They have really taken him out. They are saying that they don't need him. Yes, the chiefs are saying they don't even need him. Again, I was from Kumasi last week. I go to Kumasi every weekend. So I was just from Kumasi. Before you, when you get to Anyinam, through to Osino, the entire place is swamped with excavators. They are doing the mining in the town. It's really an eyesore. I think one day you'll send your cameras there to check. They are doing it within the town. So what is happening? You promised within 120 days that we'll see waters are clean and so on. How many people died as a result of illegal mining? The confrontation with the police and some people in Obuasi and so on. So I think the task force is not very necessary. What is important is for Ghanaians to see that within the 120 days, how many of your promises were you able to fulfill? And how impactful has it been on a Ghanaian? You can still fulfill that promise by saying, I have fulfilled that promise, but if the impact is not felt, for instance, when you say you have reduced the ministries to 23 ministries, and you still have the bureaucrats, the civil servants and everyone within the ministry, you only realigning. You only reduce the numbers, but you did not reduce the size of government, because the size of government will still be huge. I went to one of the ministries just last week, which it doesn't exist, the sanitation ministry, and the place was full. They said they are sanitation ministry staff. They are waiting for civil service to know whether they will remain here or they will be moved and so on. So that's why I'm saying that it is not about cutting the numbers, but it's about the impact of cutting the numbers. That's very important. That's the reason when we came in between 2017 and 2020, we had 100 and something ministers, and we said that we're in a hurry. We wanted to do a lot of things, and within that period, we had a sustained single-digit inflation between 2017 and 2020. There was single-digit inflation. All the economic fundamentals were pointing the right direction. We gave a lot of jobs and so on. After 2020, we ran into challenges. We reduced the ministries to 85. You understand? 84. We reduced the ministries to 84. And were able to govern till we ended in 2024. So it's not really about saying that I'm cutting down the ministry, but the impact, how Ghanaians will feel it, is the most important thing. If you have even 200 ministers and you are able to fulfill all these promises for Ghanaians to have some respect.
But that's a lot of spending on you if you have all that number of people you want to be able to turn things around. You need a lot.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That if you are telling us, in 2017, we mentioned that we were in a hurry. We wanted to establish a lot of institutions. We wanted to help the people of this country get a lot of jobs. So we did 120. For instance, let me give you a scenario. The Zango minister. A ministry was set up, and it was called the Zango Development Minister. The minister set up the Zango Development Fund, did everything, and today we can boast about 200 projects within the Zango communities. That's remarkable. Special Development Initiative Ministry, which was later scrapped. They set up the Middle Belt, Coastal Belt, and Northern Belt Development Authority. They had done a lot of projects, and now we have a fully fledged institutions just mandated to do these works and so on. So that's why I'm saying that even if you cut down the ministers, it is not very relevant to say that we're cutting down on ministers. You remember when he was president, between 2012 and 2016, he said he was taking 10% of the minister's salary to construct ship compounds and so on. When he was leaving, he increased their salary by 10% and backdated it to 2012. So what has he done?
That's what the president did.
Yeah, exactly. He did that. He increased the salary after losing the elections and backdated it to 2012 and paid them off. So they received it. So you see, it's not really about the theatrics of saying that this is what I'm coming to do. Deliver. Ghanaians are waiting.
But you would also need the reports from what has been done and what has not been done, just so you're able to assess where you are moving towards.
That's what I'm saying, that the chief of staff office should be able to really do all these things, because
monitor all of these projects and all of these people that have been put in
yeah,
positions.
Because that's the work they do there. You have a chief of staff, you have two deputy chief of staffs. One is operations, one is administrative, and there are a lot of people there working. And the ministers all report to the chief of staff. So definitely you have timelines that you will be given. The chief of staff will give you the timeline. Especially within education, they will say the sanitary part, the free tertiary for persons living with disability, the no stress for the academic facilities, the user fee. Then you will be told that you have only 3 months or 4 months to do all these. So we will be waiting, we'll be waiting to see what happens. You understand? So that's the most important thing. So if you have a task force, I don't know the relevance of the task force, but if he thinks that the task force will be able to help him deliver, I don't have any problem with that. What Ghanaians want is the deliverables. We want to see real impact. That's the most important thing to us.
I think that listening to my friend Awal say that there are certain things that we promised as a government, and he has named them. He has named some of them. So that is why we believe in the NDC that our credibility is on the line. We want to move from that era where manifestos are just there to give you electoral fortunes, and when you are done, you don't do anything for the citizenry again. We want to move away from that. There are early signs of commitment from President Mahama to most of the things that he promised. So in ensuring that there's a seamless deliverables when it comes to some of these social contracts he has with the good people of Ghana, is the reason why he's formed these committees. Because you remember, there are timelines. And the chief of staff, like he said, is at the presidency. Most of the reports go to him. But in involving sector ministers, You understand? He has involved sector ministers. Some of the things he promised, you need collaboration between 2 or 3 of those ministries. So bringing them together, it makes the work even of the chief of staff very, 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 very easy. I can assure Lawal that President Mahama is one person that believes in what we call consensus building. He believes in pulling everybody along. That is why he's concerned about dialogue, because he believes that knowledge doesn't reside with only one person. When we come together, same-minded people as a citizenry, and our concern is how to develop the country we have, our republic, you need to bring everybody along. And so I understand that he says that they don't see the relevance of it. We see that it is very important, it's very relevant to ensure that the contract that brought us into office, the contract that the people of Ghana bought into, we are able to execute and execute it perfectly. Elections have been won. You have promised the people. You are to ensure that you deliver on those promises that you gave the people. Once you are able to fulfill it, then the next political party or the next politician who wants to come and get the mandate of the good people of Ghana will realize that there's a government that came in that Ghanaians held them accountable to their manifesto. So you don't go and promise things in your manifesto that you just want to use in winning political power. And I'm sure that as a people and as politicians, once we understand that power resides with the people, we will do things right and ensure that we have a thriving economy and a republic to be proud of.
Okay. Dr. Valerie also spoke about their commitment to making sure that, those promises are fulfilled.
Yeah.
In terms of the caliber of people that have been put together and the one who's even chairing this committee, you think that there's still no substance in these people achieving what they want to achieve?
No, that's why he explained that they think that at this point in time, they need the collaboration of all the ministries. Yeah. And that's true. That there are certain things that definitely there will be some crossover. For instance, the sanitary part. Yeah. You may need the gender minister, education, collaboration with education and finance to be able to really raise the amount of money for them to also identify those who need it and so on. So yes, the caliber of people, we don't have any doubt they will be able to. But you see, there's one thing about appointing someone who is a technical person in a field. There is another, the person able to deliver. That's the most important thing. You can have someone who is a technocrat, but when he's given the opportunity to work, the person may perform abysmally. I may give an example. I remember in 2009, when Mills won the elections, he brought Alex Tete Enyo as the education minister. Yeah. Alex Tete Enyo, within 1 year, was removed because... but this is someone who was a teacher, became headmaster, became director general.
Assume that
Director General Ghana Education Service.
That is the right person.
You understand? But the only thing you could remember him for is the reversal of the 4 years to 3 years. That is the only thing you could remember him for. You understand? And again, the current vice president, she was education minister. This is someone who rose through the ranks to become the first female vice chancellor. So we're expecting that under her, education will be one of the best in this country. But what did we see? The cancellation of the teacher's allowance, the no chalk thing that happened at Kukrantumi Primary School, where the wife of the vice president went there to donate books, and they told her, she was told that they don't even have chalk to even teach the children. What's under her? You understand? So it's not really about the person being a technical person being put there. For instance, Dr. Valerie Sawyer has really, is a distinguished technocrat. She's worked even within the political circles. At the presidency, during the Mills time, she was there. Mahama, his first time, she was also there. So this is someone with some institutional memory who will be able to really support them do the work. But whether they will be able to fulfill it, because there are some that are tied to financial implications. Almost all of them, the bank, the Women Bank, you need the monies to be able to do that. Today that we've heard that there are some cuts and so on. And again, when you check, we're yet to see, they are saying that they will not introduce more taxes. They are going to remove the e-levy and the trade taxes that will cost about 10 billion Ghana cedi a year and so on. So we are looking at the first budget to see, because usually all these deliverables will be seen in the first budget when you check. The others are committees which do not have any much impact. But the rest of the things that they promise, the finance minister will have to give us a clue whether they will be able to fulfill them or not.
Are we not seeing that already?
As a Ghanaian,
is he not giving indications that way?
He's not, because
really?
you see, when he said he was going to repeal the laws and take the e-levy and others off, he did not really give us an indication where he's going to get a shortfall from. He's not giving us that indication. That's why I'm saying that we wait until the budget comes. The budget will clearly show us the path, whether they will be able to do that or not. For instance, when Haruna Idris was asked of the no fee, he said they will be reimbursed, right?
Yeah.
He said,
we'll give it back to them.
They will start this year, but they will be reimbursed. So we want to see the component in the budget. So the budget will come and spell out the 25 or 20 things, because about 5 of them are the committees. But about the 20 things that they promised that the first 120 days they will be able to deliver. The budget will give us an indication, because there will be some monies attached to them, to the specific projects or the specific promises and so on. So we hope to see that this thing comes to pass. As someone who lives in this country, who does not have any intention to live for anywhere, and I have family members, almost everyone here, I will be happy he's able to succeed, because it is not really about him succeeding that will keep us in opposition. No. If it is about the governance, if it's about really the success of a government, MPP wouldn't have lost in 2008. Again, we wouldn't have lost these elections. A lot of things contributed to our loss in 2024, not necessarily projects. For instance, in 2020, you never heard anywhere people say, no road, no vote, because we bought the drip machines and sent it there. And they were doing the work. You understand? We have done a lot, but unfortunately, corruption tag, a lot of the lies and so on, brought them to power. So
the lies from where? How can they be? How can they contest power?
Let me start on the issue of these drip machines that you were talking about. The drip machines some of us were so full of praise for.
Yeah, I mean, he had a very serious.
But you see,
commendations. But
the operationalization was a big problem. You had DCs who had MPs that didn't belong to their party. In the Volta region, I can give you 2 constituencies that were renting out these drip machines and taking money.
Wow.
Yeah, that's very possible. I can tell you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's unfortunate. Yes, it's true. Yes. I agree with the implementation was really, because you see, when you check, they said every district committee must have the MP there.
Exactly. Yeah. But we had this problem. It was, and you see, during their time, the local government minister, the one that came at the tail end of it, did things that I said, where was he? A very good politician, because when you call him and report those DCEs,
he will take action immediately.
Immediately he takes action. And he says always to us that, look, he doesn't care whether the MP is an NDC or a CPP.
Wrong is wrong.
Wrong is wrong. So the operationalization, that's why I say that most of these things that are happening, if we are able to operationalize them very well, we wouldn't be here as a country. I believe that the good people of Ghana saw what the MPP did over the 8-year period. If it was good, they were going to have called them, come again. But the people of Ghana felt that you've not done much for us to repose our trust in you again. That is why they went to the NDC and gave the NDC an overwhelming endorsement. That means that the NDC should know what happened to the MPP can also happen to us. Maybe ours might even be worse. So it is very imperative that we are able to achieve all that we have stated in our manifesto. And I think it is in line with this that you see the president assigning duties to committees. Let's sit down, let's judge all. Let's take out politics and ensure that what we are doing is for Mother Ghana. I'm happy Awala stated that as a Ghanaian citizen and his family being here, he wants to see Ghana grow. So let's move from that politics.
Even though some people don't believe when an NPP person is saying that, by the way.
Well,
What is the
we'll find out.
And some people say it, and they know why they are saying it.
I understand. So, but I'm just giving out the benefit of the doubt. And to believe that because it's a Ghanaian citizen.
Yeah.
And you know, he said something that made me I giggled within myself when he said, if the NDC performs, why not? He's happy. He's not happy. He wants to hold us accountable and say, you said this and that, you didn't perform well, so let's go. So, but I think that our politics has grown. We've come far as a people. And I'm sure that if we continue on this trajectory that we are, Ghana will be the ultimate winner.
All right, I'll do some few messages, and then when we come back. Now, there are some of the other things that the president seeks to achieve in terms of the 120 social contract. We'll look at some of them and how we can go ahead and achieve them. But let me read a few messages. This one says, Nyasa TV, and it says, Mr. Host, the Yinem area mining is being done by Chibi Goldfields LMT. They are mining from Yinem, Ankase, Osino, Saman, Juaso, and its environs. So this is from the Chibi claiming they had license to do so. They have destroyed cocoa farm water bodies. Are you aware of this?
Yeah, I'm saying that from Anyinam to Osino, the entire place,
so it's a private company doing this.
I'm even surprised, including the township.
And you see, people are doing it with such impunity. They don't care.
The former MP's house,
yes.
Even when you get to the former MP's house, just some 50 meters away from that house, there is an excavator there and they are working there.
Really?
Yes. That's why someone...
But a few days ago, I think I saw a report, not really a report, but a comment on Facebook that most of the places that were turning to Galamsey, the river, the water bodies, are now getting their original state back.
Yes.
That's what we...
that's what.
So I'm surprised this area...
No. I heard the Eastern Regional Minister. You know, she has also given a timeline.
Yeah.
And stated that, look, within
that's even wrong.
Yeah.
The moment you give the timeline, look at Ashanti region, telling them that I'm giving you 2 weeks. To wrap up or what?
No.
But it's also the assurance of...
Yes.
Of
you see, when you move in there, like we did with the military task force under President Akufo-Addo, it didn't work because there was no collaboration between them and the people doing that. It is wrong. It's illegal. You don't ban something that is illegal. But to ensure that we are able to do it quickly, it's what necessitates such steps being taken. And I'm sure that when you go there finally to take their equipment, nobody will say they didn't inform them.
Because we already have that conversation with them.
Yes.
Okay, so Charles Mercer says, His Excellency Kwashi, may God richly bless you for the good work you are doing from other Ghana. Charles Kofi Tete from South Africa sent in that.
Is he sending me to South Africa?
This one is from Coleman Sapila too. He says that in Domiko Ibenya constituency, Ghana, what is going on here? Council of State elections. Ghana Pani. Regards to Hajia Safia Mohammed, incoming MP, NPP, National Women Organizer, hopeful by Coleman Sapila too. So you wanted to just complain about and wish and wish your woman well. Okay, so let me see if I can do a few WhatsApp messages. This one over here. Let me start from here. Okay. It says, good morning, host. NPP has no... Okay, this one keeps popping up. Okay, let me go here. It says, good morning, KMJ. If NPP communicators have the knowledge to govern, they could have advised Nanado they should give us a break. Zablonku Wayo in Kibi Zongo sent in that. This one over here says that, good morning, this is Abdul Ganu Makaringu from Savannah region. Mr. Mahama from another 19-member committee and label it a task force just to mislead Ghanaians into thinking you are not forming another committee. I thought Mr. Mahama was smarter than this. The funny part is that this government promised the 24-hour economy, which they claimed would get more people working, yet they are revoking appointments, which will further increase the unemployment rate. They are even considering sacking more workers to reduce the wage bill. We were indeed scammed. All right, so... okay, let me move on to this one over here. It says, good morning, host. May the NPP understand that the NDC is implementing its manifesto, which was named the People's Manifesto to build the Ghanaians want together. So the president is doing the bid of we majority Ghanaians and not the few manifesting by the NPP. That is Saibu Awudi from Kanvi. I'm just glad that he didn't put anything like minority somewhere before we start having issues. Let me go to this one. It says that JDM is saying he's going to fight corruption. Meanwhile, he has cleared his party members who have caused financial loss to the state in courts. The NDC tagged Nana Akufo-Addo as a clearing agent, and he has done something worse than Nana Addo. I don't know how he's going to prosecute NPP members who seem to have corruption charges. JDM has disappointed many of us as far as fighting corruption is concerned. He has failed woefully, even before prosecuting his political opponents, as he has shown that he's not is out to witch hunt NPP members. Greetings to Chamanodino Kokua Pia Kuka. That's teacher Kojo Tapa Agina Susu saying that. Okay, there's some very interesting places that we see from time to time here on the show. Now, good morning, Mr. Host. Please kindly tell the application man to keep quiet. Why is he the one to teach the president how to govern? The Mr. President has set up a task force, so it is it that his 120 days contract with the good people of Ghana materialized, and you are saying you need the task force? 123 ministers, what did they do? Only wasted our money. And that's Jerry from Ashaiman. Okay, let me go to this one. This one says, good morning, KMJ and your respected panelists. Must Awal defend everything that cannot be defended? And his usual equalizations. Listening to his contributions, he can't convince a single soul outside NPP sympathizers. The same attitude in power that sent them to opposition. Karim Starboy in Tema. This one says, what is Awal saying? I heard him right, he talked about Enyinem Galamsey. When did it start? Is today that he would come and sit here telling lies? The portion Galamsey started when Awal, Nana Addo and NPP were in power. What did they do? Awal should give us a break. They lost power and President John Dramani Mahama and NDC government would reset the nation. That's from Chief Mahmoud in Nima sent in that one. Let me go to this one over here. It says, interesting times ahead of us. After we have sold our color TV and bought a black and white TV. If not, how can a party that promised the youth a jobs creation can now turn around and revoke the same youth that have been employed? Aziz Bayo from Wa. Looks like most of you have issues with this revocation of appointments, but we'll get there. Alhaji Hamza in Pefam says, good morning, my brother. Brother, I am particularly happy with President Mahama and the way he's governing the country for this period of the month. So far, Hajj fares have been reduced from $75,000 to $63,000, yes. Something the MPP could not do, even though we had a Muslim vice president. Very soon, there is going to be an additional one-day holiday added to the previous one, making it 2 days holiday. 2 days holidays, making it 2 something. Muslims vice president couldn't do. We are so grateful to President Mahama and the NDC. Muslim as a whole, we are so happy and grateful to President Mahama. May he live long. And you mentioned that you guys did a lot with the Zongo community in terms of the things.
The holidays they promised 2, so it will be 4 for the year.
Who promised? The NDC?
Yes, it's in your manifesto.
Yeah. I thought you were claiming it for yourself.
No. We also promised. We promised. You also promised. So he is saying that from 75. That is true. Yeah. It's commendable.
Yeah.
From 75,
not
you should
have started your submission.
62, yes. From 73 to 62.
Yeah.
13,000 cedis reduction. But we will want to see the details. You understand that? At least...
the details as in what do you want to see?
You see, the Hajj package, when you pay for an entire package. We were feeding them morning, afternoon, evening over there at Hajj, where the internal transport was sponsored by government, like the Hajj board, the security. We took police people because you need your own security. We took our doctors, nurses, and so on from Ghana as part of the package. So we'll want to see whether they will still continue with all those ones. Again, if there are shortfalls, is government going to foot the bills of the shortfalls? Because when you check all the neighboring countries, Togo is doing 76,000 this year. Nigeria is 78, 75, depending on where your location, because it's a federal state. Cote d'Ivoire is doing 75,000. Ghana is saying 62,000. So how did we cut the cost? We'll be happy to hear this. I am planning to really write to seek information, the right to information, so that I can seek information and know how they are able to do it, so that they can guide us when we take over in 2028. We'll be able to really.
I didn't see that one coming.
Awal, you see how you've spoken now, and you said you are going to write so that you can get that information.
Yes.
So you should be patting President Mahama in the back.
Yeah, I did that. I said,
No, I mean,
it's remarkable.
Yes,
and I
not
think
only that, because you know that under the NDC, when you apply for it, you will get the information that you want. Under your administration, it was very difficult. For example, your gold for oil.
Yes.
Until you left power, you didn't have an idea what was going in or what was not going in.
Yeah.
In fact, our members of parliament had argued at that time. During the transition, when we started getting things that we knew that, no, this is no, it's a no-no. But government kept it away. I remember Manasseh and other people writing the RTI for information they were not given. I think that President Mahama has done one thing that I am so proud of, that he's not going to be a president that is a bit autocratic. President Mahama will allow you get whatever information that you want to get and ensure that you can hold this government accountable. I think that is the key point, being able to hold our leaders.
Because it's the only way you can assess.
Exactly. Because
So the right information, I'm surprised. The first draft went to Parliament in 1998. It has to take Akufo-Addo to be able to pass that law. And you want to take credit for that?
No, you don't get it.
Within a month in office, which information have you been able to release?
He meant that.
You don't get it.
He meant that access to it.
We were not getting access to those information.
A lot of people were getting access. Some people in my office, people came with information, right, to do that. And we're able to give them the information within a week.
But within a week?
Yes.
It took
within a
Manasseh.
Manasseh, okay, that issue with the, I think he went there.
When you check,
several times.
When you check the law.
And Raymond Ark also had the same similar
Exactly.
issue with one of the institutions. I think he
We
went there,
went as a
and
part-
then he had to go through the
Yes,
There is
as
a
an
commission.
NDC party.
There is a commission.
Yes.
There is an RTI commission where you will lodge the complaint there. Then they will force the institution to release it.
Yeah, but
Yes,
we were
but
not
others have
given
had
that
issues,
access.
and like I'm saying, the
We
example
have
I've given.
yes.
Raymond actually submitted a letter.
Yes.
To the reception.
Yes.
They told them there's nobody there to receive the letter.
Yes.
Awal
So
is
he had
aware.
to go back for the letter
Exactly.
and later go through the.
So,
Exactly.
see, we were trying to set up the offices. For instance, it took like 6 months or 7 months before at YEA were able to get 2 officers from the RTI commission.
Okay.
They did a lot of recruitments and so on. So some institutions did not have RTI officers. So that's the reason when you send a letter there, they don't know who.
They say they don't know who you want
understand.
to
But
give the letter
if you,
to, and they will
but
give
if you send it today to any institution, I'm sure they have almost recruited everyone, two in each institution. You go through, then they will teach you on what to do. If there are fees that you have to pay for the bulky nature of the information you need, within 3 days, within 1 week, if you're not able to access the information, you go to the commission. There is a right to information commission, which will compel the institution. They will look at it because. In the law, when you check the act, there are some information that are privileged information that it is not supposed to be released. It's embedded in it. So they will look at it and see if the information is for public good. They will force the institution to do it. If the institution refuses to do that, they will have to still resort to court. And the court will force the people to do it.
I think that's what
even
Raymond got. The institution now had to force them to just do
So I think that most of our viewers have also been concerned about this whole thing about Chief of Staff's directory. I think that the NDC had promised jobs to everybody. I can assure the good people of Ghana this morning that, look, the Chief of Staff is not on a war path with people that have been employed. The Chief of Staff is ensuring that despite the moral nature that every Ghanaian is playing to this morning, there are laws also that needs to govern how we do certain things. If there's any Chief of Staff that has worked to the benefit of the citizenry, to me, it's Julius Debra. Because right from him being a local government minister and becoming a Chief of Staff, we've seen what he has done and he continues to do. what directive he has given, we are only reading one part of it and not reading the latter part where he says that they should bring a comprehensive report to him. And I can assure you that just like Ghana is speaking this morning, he is listening and he would ensure that you are not taking jobs from people when you have promised them to give them jobs. But if you have promised them to give them jobs, do it and do it according to the law so that nobody will come tomorrow and say, oh, things were not done right, so you have to move and go. So we should look at it from that angle. The young people that have sent messages are a bit agitated.
Yeah, very worried about it.
Very worried about it. And we should all be worried about it as a people. All I can say is that the Chief of Staff means well. President John Dramani Mahama means well. What needs to be done will be done. And I can assure them nobody's job will be taken away from them.
Okay, we're out of time, but let me read a few messages that have come from people who have sent it over to our WhatsApp console and I didn't read and they are tagging me here. Now, Sami Boachi, as Marcus says, the NDC violent disruption of the Council of State election is a testament to the party's propensity for violence. As previously stated by the president, this behavior has significant implications for future elections. And he continues, says, as we consider the potential outcomes of upcoming elections, it is clear that the future holds many possibilities. The so-called 19 members task force is scammed, another way of creating looting and sharing. Another one over here says, my brother, while you do all this, Mahama's administration is a task force and committee government. President Mahama is in less than 40 days in office, has dropped criminal charges against his party members without any investigation. Someone who promised to fight corruption is now clearing corrupt individuals. The true chief clearing agent has come. He's also snubbing General Esiedun Ketia's appointment list. Family and friends government, Ghanaian will see the true colors of the NDC. Soon. This is Master Planner Junior in Kintampo. So some of the messages that you have sent to us, I think will be good for this morning.
Yeah.
Let me say a big thank you to both of you for coming, and I'm grateful for your time. A big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise. They have been very, very kind to us, and we'd like to say a big thank you to them for bringing this segment here on the show.